Hey guys, this is Paul here from intralifestyle.com. Today I'm going to talk to you about how you can overcome fear in your life. First of all, I think it's very important to mention that fear is completely normal. Fear is like a survival mechanism. It's an emotion we feel to protect ourselves from a potential threat. But the thing is, the threat isn't usually real. It's made up in our mind. It's based on a future thing that hasn't even happened and may never happen yet. And when we live in this state, it cripples us from taking action on the life of our dreams. It stops us in our tracks and it creates stress hormones in our body. Now, I've created another video before which I'll link to where I talk about the long-term effects of stress on the body. But for this video, we're going to get into fear and how you can overcome it. So now that we understand that fear is normal, we'll look at some of the types of fear and then how you can overcome them. So there's a fear of missing out. There's a fear of rejection, a fear of not being enough, fear of not being loved, fear of failing. You know, I think back to when I was around 18 or 19 and in my early 20s, and I would go out to bars and I'd have a goal of meeting women and trying to get numbers and get dates. And the amount of time and hours I spent in my head playing over potential scenarios and that fear of rejection, sometimes it was so overpowering that it stopped me from taking the action. But what I realized over time was when I did take the action, that it wasn't as bad as I built it up in my head. And the energy that it took playing that over and over again, it wasn't worth it. So I realized that just taking action is the best thing for it. So first of all, if we're going to break fear down so that I can help you moving forwards, we'll just look at it in a bit more detail. So if you think about when you're in a fearful state about something, think about what you're actually focused on. Because when you focus on something unwanted or negative, that's going to create the emotion in your body, because when you think and feel, you then act in a certain way, or in the case of fear, don't act. So once you understand what you're focused on, you then can decide to change that, because you have the ability in any moment to choose what you want to put your attention on and what things mean to you. We create stories around everything in our life. And some of these stories can really cripple you and stop you taking action on the life you want to live. So beyond the focus, the next thing we want to look at is actually, how do you feel in that state of fear? And where do you feel it in your body? Next time you're in a state of fear or worry or anxiety, feel in your body the emotion. Where do you actually physically feel that? I know for myself, in my lower chest, I get a certain sensation when I'm in that fearful state. And that really cripples me into taking action. But I've learned now through training myself and doing this a number of times that I can change that. And I'm very aware of when it comes up. And we'll get onto some techniques for that in a moment. The next phase of that would be changing your physiology. So changing your body language, changing your posture. You know, if I asked you to take a moment to think of a time when you felt quite down or sad in some way, and you could really think of a specific moment because it's a strong emotional attachment to a memory of your past, think about how you were positioned, how was your body language, how was your tone of voice? Because humans across the planet are very similar. We tend to have our heads down, our shoulders forward, our breathing changes, our tone of voice is different. And then on the other hand, think of a time when you were super energized, happy, confident. All of a sudden your eyes light up, your shoulders come back, you stand nice and tall, you have more energy. It's a totally different way of feeling. And the cool thing about this is, if you're feeling down and you were to just change your physiology, you would notice a difference in the way you feel. So in NLP, we use certain techniques to get into specific states that we want that are more empowering for certain situations. So, for example, if you were going to approach someone to ask them on a date and you're thinking in your head, oh no, I'm going to get rejected, this, that, and whatever else, it's not going to help you. You want to get into state. You want to think about, visualize what you're going to do. How are you going to stand? How are you going to speak? Have that confidence in yourself. And you create that by doing this consistently. So going on to some techniques that will actually help you as part of a daily practice, I highly recommend creating some kind of morning routine or morning ritual that fits into your lifestyle and fits into your schedule. And what this is, it's basically just a period of time in the morning. You can choose however long you want to make it. Maybe just start off with 20 minutes or so. Personally, I like to do an hour in my morning. And you set yourself up for the day, emotionally, mentally, physically. So before you wake up and check your phone and get distractions from the outside world and the stresses and checking your email and social media and people on the road driving too slow and getting stuck in traffic and all of these other things that are going on, wake up each morning and think about who you want to be in the day. Do a short meditation. Be present. Focus on something that you're grateful for. Visualize how you want to spend your time, how you want to be in the day, the person that you want to become, the energy, the mood, the emotions that you want to feel. And when you get yourself into that state, that positive state and ready for the day and you're on a mission, the things that normally would distract you and cause you to become uncomfortable or emotionally distressed in some way, they're going to have less impact on you. And as time goes on, you're going to become more aware of this and you're going to be in a better position to be able to shut those things out. Because you are in control of your emotional state and your thoughts at any moment. You have the power to change the way you feel instantly. You see, day to day when we wake up, we live lives based on habits. We condition ourselves over years of experiences and we become addicted to certain emotions, and this becomes our habits, our patterns, our personalities. The Dr. Joe Dispenza talks a lot about this in his book, Breaking the Habit of Being Yourself, which I highly recommend. And I'll put a link below this video to the book, because we train ourselves to be a certain way. At the end of the day, humans don't want to change. We're designed to remain in comfort and survival. So if you want to create a life that's going to make you grow and become a better person and achieve all of the things that you imagine, that's not just going to happen through being comfortable. So every day you're going to have to overcome fear in some way. So using some of these techniques and having a morning ritual is going to help you be in control of your emotions, be in control of your state, and set you up for success. I hope you found this video useful, and I hope you use some of the techniques to help you in your day-to-day life. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll speak to you soon.